Yes, plus one class students, hello and good day to all. I am Amritpal Singh and I welcome you in the online class of economics. Students, in our previous video, we had just completed our chapter number 4 from book 2, Stats for Economics, in which we discussed the organization of data. Okay, now in this video, we are going to start a new chapter which is related with the concept of presentation of data. Students, this thing you have to keep in mind. Earlier we have discussed from chapter number 1 onwards what is the meaning of statistic, what is the definition of stats, meaning of stats, singular sense, in plural sense we have touched, then drawbacks of stats, importance of stats, subject matter of statistics. Then we discuss how to collect the data. We have two sources, primary sources and secondary sources, and we have two types of methods of collection of data. We have census method and sample method. Okay, and after discussing that part, we have discussed after collection of data, we have organization of data, that how to classify the data, how to organize the data. We have completed about geographical classification, chronological classification, qualitative, quantitative, etc. And after the collection of data, after the organization of data, we have the presentation of data, that after collecting, after organizing, how to present the data. Okay, so presentation, what is the meaning of presentation? One more question can be there. How many types of presentations we have, and what are the different types of presentation? And in this chapter we are going to start the textual and tabular presentation. So what is the meaning of textual presentation? We will discuss tabular presentation, and the name is speaking by itself, textual and tabular. Okay, let us discuss with the word presentation. The presentation of data means exhibition of the data in such a clear and attractive manner that these are easily understood and analyzed. So it means presentation of data means to present the data in such a manner that we can easily able to pick the data and we are able to execute it, we are able to analyze it, we are able to understand it. Okay, whatsoever is being presented, that should be in such a manner that it is easily understood and analyzed. Okay, this is the formal meaning of presentation. Then we have the various forms of presentation. We have textual or descriptive presentation. So what is the meaning of textual presentation? We will discuss. Then we have tabular presentation, simply in the form of tables. And then diagrammatic presentation, again very easy. So diagrammatic presentation means whensoever we are presenting our data in the form of diagram. Okay, now let us focus on textual presentation. We have, in this data are a part of the text of study or a part of description of subject matter of study. Such a presentation is called descriptive presentation of data. In simple sense, we can say, students, whensoever we are presenting the data in writing, not by making any diagram, not by making any table, simply by writing the data. Again we are understanding, in this data are a part of the text of the study, or a part of the description of the subject matter of study. Whatsoever the subject matter we have, it is just a part of that, and it is being presented in the form of textual. So that is called the textual presentation of data. Okay, now coming towards the next part. So textual presentation is one of the most common form of presentation. So whensoever our data is not in a very large quantity, data is in a very precise manner, so this is very useful. So presentation, when quantity of data is not very large, then it is very suitable. So for example in a strike call given by the trade unions of shoemaking industry in city of Delhi, 50% of the workers reported for the duty, and 2 out of the total industries in the city were totally closed. So what does it mean? They are presenting the data in textual presentation, in texting. Newspaper is the best example, where they are informing us that a strike call was given and 50% of the workers only came for duty, and 2 out of the total, let's say out of the 20 industries were totally closed. So this is the example of textual presentation. Now pause the video and note it down. Yes students, so now we are going to discuss what is the suitability of textual presentation along with its drawbacks. Very easy to understand. So first of all, suitability of textual presentation. So as we are aware, it is most suitable when data's quantity or quantity of data, quantum of data is not very large. Okay, then it is suitable. It gives an emphasis on statistical truth to the otherwise qualitative observations. And third point, it does not need the support the text with voluminous data in the form of tables and diagrams when data is in itself is very small. First of all students, this thing you have to keep in mind, that textual presentation is helpful when the quantity of data is small, it is not very large. Second thing, when data in itself is not very large, it does not need any support system like preparation of tables, preparation of diagrams and other figures like pie diagram or graphs or histogram, etc., bar graph, etc. And if it lays on emphasis on special things which are significant for the reader. Okay, so these are some suitability. And now the drawbacks we are going to discuss. So these things you have to keep in mind. First of all, we will read the content. One must has to go through the entire text before quantitative facts about a phenomenon become evident. So it means whensoever you are given any textual presentation, you have to go through with all the context whatsoever written in the data. So before let's take an example of a newspaper. If a paragraph is given, so we have to read all the paragraph if any statistical part is been given. Okay, so whensoever the entire before quantitative facts about a phenomenon became evident, so it becomes an evident whensoever data is being provided in a paragraph. So we have to go through with all the stuff. Second is, it does not offer reader anything at a mere glance of entire text. When quantity is large, it is not helpful. Simply student, let's take an example. If you are given a bar graph, so bar graph you can see with the help of those bars, if one is going high, if one is going low, with the help of those bar graph, with the glance we can easily recognize which is going high and which is going long. For example, if we are going to discuss the prices, the inflation of gold, inflation on silver, the prices of gold, silver, petrol, diesel, wheat, sugar, rice, etc. So with the help of that graph, we can easily recognize that the prices of gold are getting high. Prices of milk are not increasing in dash speed in which the gold are increasing. So it means it does not offer such kind of thing. So mere glance means a small trailer, एक छोटी सी झलक. We simply say we have to read all the paragraph. With the mere glance we may not be able to see, we may not be able to judge the whole content of the whole paragraph. Okay, this thing you have to keep in mind. Okay, now moving towards the next part, you can see we have our tabulation and table. So with the help of that part, student, drawbacks, our textual presentation is over. Now we are moving towards the tabular presentation. The meaning of tabulation and table. First of all, what is tabulation? It refers to the method or process of presenting the data in the form of a table. So tabulation simple means whensoever we are presenting the data in the form of a table, that is tabulation. That is tabulation. Okay. Second is, what do you mean by table? So it refers to the systematic presentation of data in the form of rows and columns. Whensoever we are presenting the data in the form of rows and columns, that is called table. So table is when data is presented in rows and columns, that is table, and the process of presenting data in the form of table, that is called the tabulation. Okay, these things you have to keep in mind. Now before we start discussing the components of table and features of a good table, we will take a small pause. You can pause the video here and note it down in your fair notebook. Yes students, so now we are going to discuss components of a table, means parts of a table. First of all, table number. So this is one of the most important questions we have in the examination. Often it is discussed in components of table or format of a table. Okay, so point number one is table number. Whensoever you are going to prepare a data, a table number must be written at the top. And student, one thing you have to keep in mind, that these all points are to be learnt in the same manner, in the same sequence. Okay, same number wise you have to learn, and very easy to learn. Student, number one is table number. Whensoever we are preparing a table number should be written on the top. Table number 1, table number 2, table number 3, table must be numbered. Okay, then the title, you have to write a title at the top of the table. After writing the table number, you have to give a suitable title. For example, marks of class plus 1, but alone marks of class plus 1 does not give us the entire information. So the information which is not covered under title, that is covered in the head note. So first of all, table number, then after table number we have to give a suitable title, and whatsoever the information is left under title, that has to be covered in head note. So it means I am asking pro forma of class plus 1. In bracket, in head note, I am writing for the session 2020-21 commerce. So what does it mean? So it means title is pro forma, and then head note is covering the left information which is not covered under title. Then the stubs. We have, student, two types of things. We have rows, we have columns. So the heading of rows is called stubs. So I am writing the marks, and under I am writing roll number. The heading of the rows is stubs. So I am writing roll number, and then I am writing roll number 1, 2, 3, and that is the heading of rows. So it is one more question. What do you mean by stubs? Stubs are heading of rows. Second is captions. Captions are heading of columns. So heading of columns is called caption. Heading of rows is called stubs. Okay. Then fifth point is body or field. Very easy to understand. Whatsoever is being written in the data, whatsoever is being written in the table, the content, the data is called body or field. Whatsoever you are writing in the table, that is called body or field. The content of the data of the table for which you are preparing the table, that is called body or field. Then footnotes. At the end of the table, foot, where is our foot? At the body, at the last. So at the last of the table we have a footnote, from where whatsoever the things you are mentioning here, especially for example we have Punjabi and mathematics, choice for our students. So red pen is offering Punjabi marks, blue pen is offering mathematics marks. So footnotes are for that, and sources, that source that from where you have collected the data. Okay, so that these all are the 8 components of table. And in the next video I will also share the format of a table, and before that we are going to discuss what are the features of a good table. We have compatible title. The title should be compatible. It must cover all the things which are to be shown in the table. Comparison. A table should facilitate the comparison. We must be able to compare the marks of students in unit 1 and unit 2. Special emphasis. If anything is special like maths and Punjabi, those are to be emphasis. Special attention should be given. Then ideal size. The size of the table should be ideal. It doesn't mean that we are making some column large, some are low. No, the ideal size should be there. Stubs, heading of rows, we have stubs. So heading must be given on each and every row so that the reader is getting the appropriate information. Use of zero. For example, a student is absent for examination, so we cannot write 0. We will write not available, data is not available, or absent, the student is absent. So 0 should not be written. Then we have headings. So heading must be there. A good table must have the headings. Then abbreviations. So avoid writing abbreviations. Okay, or if abbreviation is written, then it should be then in meter, in thousand, in lakh, in such a manner it should be given. Footnote is must, footnote is required for that. Units, as I am writing that when something is in thousand, we can write is in this 30 we are writing, or 20 we are writing, or in lakh, in crores, in tons we can write. Total should be given at the end of every part. Percentage and ratio if converted, so it is easy to that. Extent of approximation, something is in extent, we can approximate. First of all, pause this. Yes, students, so extent of approximation means whensoever data we are having that is in points, in decimals, we can extend, like 9.89 it should be 10, up to that. Source of data, that from where you are getting the data. Source must be written, that from newspaper, from internet, from Google, I mean, from where you have taken the data, from your text, from your book. Then we have ruling of size of column. The size of column should be in the ideal, it should be of that manner that we may able to present our data in a good and healthy manner. Then ruling of columns, the column should be ruled in that manner that it facilitates comparison also, and it gives a clear and smooth picture for the reader. Then simple, economic and attractive. A table must be simple to view, it must be attractive, and it must be economic in terms of money, time and efforts. Students, there are 17 points. You can write any 3-4 points of your choice in the examination if such question comes. Okay, so in this chapter we have started new chapter which covered the textual and tabular presentation, and in the next video we will discuss the format of a table, what are the various types of tables. Okay, and we will try to complete this chapter as early as possible. Okay students, and don't forget, you all are awesome. Thank you very much.